Welcome back. In 2020 I have been playing 3 games at the moment. First one was Days Gone. Now I beat that game, even got a platinum for it, something that almost never happens. I'm also of course playing Spider-Man. What an amazing game that is. It definitely does not suck. And my third game is a game that I've been playing throughout the other 2 games that I've been playing, and I've even been playing it a little bit at work. And that is Breath of Fire 2 for Nintendo's Switch online Super Nintendo service. What a freaking long name to describe an emulation. You know, I really love retro style graphics, pixel art, retro style music. I just like it a lot. I grew up with Super Nintendo and the PlayStation 1. And even though I had a Super Nintendo when I was very young, the only game that I had was, I think, Mario World, or like a collection with all kinds of Mario games on it. So I do remember playing Mario, but I never got around playing RPGs. That was definitely only on the PlayStation 1. So when Nintendo last year announced that a new bunch of games were coming for their Super Nintendo service, and one of those was Breath of Fire 2, I could not hesitate any longer and bought their online service. And holy damn, my 20 bucks have been spent good. Like, holy shit. The game is awesome. As you can hear, the music is, in my opinion, incredible. I love this type of music. Sure, nowadays you do have bombastic music and great sound, and games like Nier Automata, holy damn, has just godlike music. But there's something so emotional, so, I don't know, something that draws me in these older style of soundtracks that you had a lot on the Super Nintendo and even on the PlayStation 1. Graphically, it looks like a Super Nintendo game, but you can clearly see it's been made in the first couple of years from the Super Nintendo. It looks good, but you know the Super Nintendo has and can be better. But I still love the pixel art you can see now. Character-wise, I don't really have like a favorite character at the moment. I like Cat. She's pretty cool. I like Ryu, even though he does not talk. But he looks cool. And he's a half dragon. I mean, dragons are cool. The combat system, this is what I've been talking about in so many of my videos. And even though it has improved a lot this generation, the simplistic, simple turn-based battle system is still my favorite. Well, there are some action games that are really cool, like Nier Automata, but still, I love simplistic, old-school RPG. You don't have millions of HP, you don't do 10,000s of damage, just 100 HP, a couple of damage, and when you level up, you get a little bit stronger. It reminds me a lot of Dragon Quest XI that has the same thing. The combat is awesome, to be honest. There's quite a lot of grinding in the game. There were a couple of instances where I was stuck. Not only were the enemies in the dungeon kind of too hard, I maybe, like, RPGs nowadays are like, oh, you level up easy, oh, you have so much HP, oh, you can easily get potions and stuff. But in this game, you really have to buy a lot of potions. You're gonna die pretty fast. The enemy does quite a lot of damage, especially a couple of bosses are pretty hard. So at work, I have actually been grinding for levels and trying to get new gear, and that is so cool. I love it. I love these types of RPGs, and I honestly hope that Nintendo and their partners are going to release more of the Super Nintendo RPGs library that is massive on their Nintendo Switch, Super Nintendo online service, because I just can't wait to play more. Breath of Fire 2 is awesome. It's To be honest, if I want to be really honest, playing this game wants me to get the game physically. You know that I love my physical games, and even though it's really cool that you can play it like this, I want the game physical. I want the Super Nintendo. I want to get all those good RPGs. It's just extremely expensive, like so freaking expensive. It kind of turns me off of actually getting it. It doesn't turn me on, it turns me off. So this is kind of my first thoughts. I'm like halfway through the game. I have used a couple of times a walkthrough, I admit. Like the game gives you hints where you should go. It's not like Final Fantasy 1 where the game basically says whatever, go find what the hell you need to do. The game does give you hints of where you should go. Sometimes I just don't get the hint and I go back to a walkthrough, check out what I have to do, put the walkthrough away and keep playing. I'm trying to play the game as blind as possible, and I'm having such a good time with this game. It really wants me to play more of these older style games, older style RPGs. And to be honest, if you actually have checked out my channel for probably this year, I have been playing a lot of indie games that has this old retro feel to it. You know, like Owlboil and Time Spinners. And these games are becoming more popular and more interesting, in my opinion, than a lot of the AAA stuff out there. So leave it in the comments below. Have you ever played Breath of Fire 2? Have you ever played any other Japanese RPG or RPG, whatever, or Nintendo game overall that you enjoy a lot? Leave it in the comments below, and like always, you're gonna